We have an update on Calafiori. We'll be discussing that one. An update on Merino, Nketiah, and Arsenal have released the squad that is heading to the United States of America today. They've actually already boarded the plane, so they're on their way there already. We'll be talking about the squad that is traveling, the players who are missing, and the players who are missing because of injuries and also different various reasons. So let's start with the Calafiori news. Now, we already told by Fabrizio Romano that here we go is very, very soon. Unfortunately, it looks like it hasn't been done before the players travel to the USA. He could still end up joining them later on in the week, but now it's not in our hands. It's obviously in Bologna's hands and Basel's hands. We've already agreed a fee with Bologna, but we have to wait for them to agree a fee with Basel. It's crazy. Like, this is three teams in one deal. But this is what has been reported today by Fabrizio Romano. Bologna and Basel discussing 50% sell-on clause payment terms again today. Talks ongoing between all parties involved to get Ricardo Calafiori deal sealed. Arsenal waiting for the green light. So I think the moment Bologna and Basel agree, it's done for us. It's just going to come and do the medical. I don't know if it's going to do the medical, whether it's in England or in Italy or over in the USA. And then I don't think it's going to play the Bournemouth game, but it could be available for the Man United and Liverpool games. Why I know this deal is going to happen very quickly is because we also had that Bologna. I think that they're traveling somewhere on Monday for their pre-season tour as well. They want to finalize this deal quickly as possible so that they can, travel and focus on their own issues. So they want to also get it done very quickly. So I still believe, I thought we were going to get a here we go this weekend. We might still, the day is not over, but I would say probably Monday. Let's say Monday we're going to get a here we go. And doesn't mean it's not going to feature in the USA preseason tour because it's not on the squad list. No, we can obviously join them later, like a few players will. So let's just be a little bit more patient, I guess. We have to wait for a day or two. And then this deal will finally be done. The good thing is, for me, why I usually say it doesn't matter whether we get it done on July 1st or 2nd or July 21st and 2nd, as long as it's done before preseason or during preseason, a couple of weeks before the season actually starts, I'm okay with that. So this one has been done before preseason has started. So he could already be announced as an Arsenal player by Monday or Tuesday before the preseason starts on Thursday morning. So very confident this one is finalized. And it was not easy. It was a complicated deal because Basel and Bologna have their own agreements, so they had to get as much money as they could from us, but they've actually reached a compromise with Arsenal, which is great. And on top of that, it's not only Arsenal that wanted this team. According to Sky Sports, another Premier League club as well as Juventus and Real Madrid tried to sign Ricardo Calafiori in the last 10 days. However, the player only wanted Arsenal and gave his word that he would join. So that makes me feel great. Like Real Madrid, whenever I see Real Madrid or Man City on the list and then the player chooses us, I'm like, this is interesting. Now, Real Madrid and Man City are the only teams I would fear in this deal. I'd be like, if Madrid come in for him or Man City come in for him, there's a lot of factors that would attract him to those teams, be it Ancelotti and Guardiola, be it the fact that Real Madrid will always get to a Champions League final, be it a lot of players want to play for Real Madrid in Spain, be it him wanting to, win the Premier League every single season if he wants to join Man City. Like, there's a lot of different reasons you'd want to join those teams. But him saying, listen, I've already agreed to join Arsenal. That is the team I'm going to. That's very welcome. That's very encouraging. And Juventus also wanted him. Not surprised by that. Juventus are trying to sign Nketiah as well. They're trying to go behind our backs to try and sign Calafiori. And Leverkusen wanted him. Remember, PSG wanted him. Chelsea wanted him. So for us to beat all those teams to this player, that's very big. That shows you which kind of teams wanted him. It's a lot of big teams that wanted him. So that is very, very encouraging. But remember, he's still not yet an Arsenal player. In my head, he's already an Arsenal player. But we still have to wait for Bologna and Basel to agree, which I think they will very soon, and then we'll get a here we go, and then Calafiori will be joining up with the team in USA later on this week. Now, let's get to the latest on Nketiah. This is the latest on him. He's actually traveled to the USA as well, and Fabrizio said this earlier today. Olympic Marseille have sent initial proposal to Arsenal for Nketiah. No agreement close yet, but negotiations started between clubs, as Santi J reported. He's one of the next top targets after Mason Greenwood. So West Olympic Marseille, they're still looking at Edin Nketiah. They've sent their first proposal, but no agreement yet. I don't know. I don't think they're going to match Arsenal's asking price right away with the first bid. I think it's going to take a bit of time. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean because he's traveled to the USA, he cannot leave. No, like I remember last season, I think it was Balogun who traveled with the team, and then after a couple of games, he went back on his own to France to complete his deal. So depending on how the game goes, I don't know where Marseille will be, especially if they're like in the USA or something, somewhere like that. Then it's an easier deal to do. But I would have preferred it to be, more settled and more not too rowdy. This one has traveled and then he's still linked to this team. But this particular year, there's nothing much you could have done because there's a Euros, there's a Copa America, so there's disruptions with players, and then the likes of adding. Many teams were afraid of, teams like myself could have been trying to sell players. They've let go of the likes of Aubameyang, and then they're trying to get space, maybe clear wage structure and all that, and then get a chance to sign players. So they couldn't have signed him like in June or anything like that. So I think Nketiah will still probably play for us against Bournemouth this week, and then maybe after that he could leave, or maybe you could be here for the whole of USA preseason, and then he leaves us in August. I'm not sure how it's going to go, but Marseille is not the only team that wants him. Nketiah is on West Ham's striker shortlist for this summer, and Marseille might not be able to match 25 to 30 million pound price tag Arsenal have set for him. So we want close to 30 million. I think we want more than 30 million. I don't think we're going to accept 25 million. And Marseille want him, West Ham want him, a couple of other teams want him. It's great to have a lot of teams wanting our players. I would have preferred it to get done quicker so that we know this is the players who are going to be here, these are the players who are not going to be here. But you're not all going to sell everyone and buy everyone before the end of July, because for Nketiah to leave, it's not in our hands. So we have to wait for teams to come in and make offers for him. And there was no offers the last 6-7 weeks, so we had to wait. The likes of Nelson, same. We had to wait. The likes of Smith Rowe, we had to wait. But now deals, I think in July, the rest of the July and beginning of August, deals will happen quicker, and then we'll get it done. Yesterday, he played, he got an assist for Jesus's goal, but I saw the comments on the Arsenal highlights, and people are like, no, he still missed a couple of one-on-ones, he's not good enough and all that. I think it'd just be better for him to leave, like already just in preseason. I can see like a lot of fans who are already mad that he's still here. A lot of fans, waiting for him to miss a chance, and they're like, nah, this is not good enough, let him go. I think for him to just be better for him to move on. The kind of level we've gone to right now, we need a different kind of striker, and for him to play regularly, I think he can go and play for any different team, Marseille, Crystal Palace, Fulham, whichever. I wish him all the best over there, but as of now, he's still an Arsenal player. Let's see how that one goes. Mikel Merino, what's the latest on him? According to reports from Martin Moretto, Mikel Merino wants to think carefully about which path to take after deciding not to renew with Sociedad, so he's could leave for sure. At the moment, the team that has been most insistent, Atletico Madrid. Arsenal have made some calls and inquiries, but there are no official offers yet. So again, I would have preferred to get a midfielder in before preseason started, but for someone like a Merino, if it's our main target in midfield, we can't do that because I just played the final with Spain last week. He's on holiday right now. We have to be patient with him and wait for him to come back from holiday. And the only time, if you sign Merino, the only time he'd be available for us in the Emirates is in the Emirates Cup, not the actual competition. The preseason tour in USA is not going to be available. So with Mikel Merino, as I said, if Partey is staying and he's fit and Rice is there and Jorginho is there, Merino for that 20-25 million, I think it would be a very, very good signing, in terms of dominating the midfield and bullying the opponents and suffocating the opponents. Merino will bring a lot of that in terms of winning duels in midfield. He's a very good ball player as well. He can pass the ball, he can, dribble and all that. He's a very good player in terms of on the ball as well. I mean, Spain, a lot of players from Spain can do that, especially the midfielders over the years. They're all very good. So for me, Merino, for that price, I would love to have him. But the only issue for me with those Spanish players, as I always tell you guys, a player coming from Sociedad or Bilbao would want to move to Barcelona or Madrid. Not all of them, but majority of them would, like, that is their dream, to move to those kind of teams. And Merino as well. Atletico Madrid have already signed a player from Real Sociedad, I think Norman, the defender. So they already have a good relationship there. And they've had a lot of different players, playing for both teams over the years, the likes of Griezmann. So they could easily go and get Merino as well, and Merino might want to go to Atletico Madrid if he wants to stay in Spain. So this is another difficult one, like the Nico Williams one. But if we're able to do it, I think it would be a great signing. For me, I would have preferred like to get a proper defensive midfield. I think he's a good player. I would have preferred the likes of Bruno Gomes or players like that, but those ones are not possibilities right now. And considering Partey and Jorginho have both traveled, Jorginho's obviously signed a new contract. Partey's traveled with the team. For now, we have a couple of players who can play those positions. Merino would be a good addition for sure. I would take him. Like if Partey is staying and Merino is coming to add to our team, not to replace anyone, I'm happy with Merino coming to our team. I think he would play a big role. So let's see how that one develops this week. One to keep an eye on. Next up, let's discuss about the team that has traveled to the USA. Actually, before that, Tommy Setford was announced today as an Arsenal player. Congratulations to him. Young goalkeeper from Ajax. I don't know if he's going to be the academy goalkeeper next season or the third choice. We have to wait and see. That depends on whether Karl-Heinz is going to be sent out on loan. And Tommy Setford is one of the players that will be traveling to the USA or has traveled to the USA. This is the full team that has traveled. Karl-Heinz, Setford, and Negard. Those are our three goalkeepers. Negard was signed the other day, and Setford was signed today as well. So hopefully we can see a couple of them. Ryan and Ramsdale are not going to be here until August. So this is the three goalkeepers you're going to see for those three fixtures against Bournemouth, against Liverpool, and against Man United. Probably we're going to see Karl-Heinz more. And then there's in terms of the first team players, before we go to the academy players, Ben White has been picked, obviously. Zinchenko, Timber, Nketiah is still there, so no transfer for him yet. Thomas Partey, Jorginho, Odegaard, Smith Rowe, Fabio Vieira, Trossard is back as well, Reece Nelson, Jesus, and Nketiah. And then in terms of the youngsters, we have the likes of Rogers, we have the likes of Nichols, Evan, Rekic, Robiax, Lewis Kelly. Most of you'd be familiar with him. Obviously, Nwaneri, most of you'd be familiar with him. Salah Olad, Boa, I think that's how you pronounce it. Is it Goa? Sorry, Goa, and then Sago Jr. have also traveled. So it's different from the teams that you usually travel to the USA the last couple of years. We usually have a lot of the first team players, a lot of new signings traveling, but this time it's different. Like Declan Rice, Saka, Raya, Ramsdale, and Saliba are not going to come back until August. Havertz just did the wedding yesterday, so he's not coming. He's not going to be traveling with the team today, but he will be back later on this week. He's traveling to the USA alongside Gabriel and Gabriel Martinelli as well. So the three of them will join up, I think, after the Bournemouth game. And Tomiyasu, unfortunately, is not going to be traveling because of the injury. But before I come to that, there's a couple of players I really want. I think there's a big chance here for players. Now, again, as I said, it's a bit unsettled because there's some players who are going to leave. Like Nketiah has been linked to the move away. Same with Kivio, same with Nelson. So a bit all over the place in terms of that. But I think for the first couple of games, they could be here. But players like Fabio Vieira and players like Fabio Vieira, Timber. Fabio Vieira mostly because I think he's going to be here next season. I want to see a lot from him in this preseason, and also Gabriel Jesus. For me, I've always said I want Jesus to stay, so hopefully him and Zinchenko do very well in this preseason alongside Fabio Vieira as well. Because if they're at the top of the game, if they're the players that we sign, if Jesus and Zinchenko are the players we signed from the first season, the kind of players we had in the first season when they signed for us, and if someone like Fabio Vieira becomes the FC Porto Fabio Vieira, then we're in a very good place. So hopefully they can have good performances. But we'll break down the squad more, and also talk about the fixtures that are coming up later on this week as the fixtures get close. As I say, Tomiyasu is not going to be traveling. According to James Bench, Tomiyasu could miss the entirety of Arsenal's preseason preparations after sustaining a knee injury. No timescale was publicly announced for his recovery, but CBS Sports sources indicate that initial estimates have him sidelined for 2 to 3 weeks. So good thing it's not a long time, because it's a bit worrying that he's injured again without any football having been played the last 2 months. But he's injured again, so he's not going to be traveling. So let's hope he's back for the Emirates Cup. But I would have loved to see him in the preseason to see how he does, which positions he can cover. I'd love to see him at centre back for one of the games, but he's not available, and it's another injury, unfortunately. But let me know what you guys make about everything that we've talked about, the squad that we've picked. The ones who are asking, as I said, Havertz, Gabriel, and Martinelli will be back this week, but the other players who are not in the squad, apart from Tomiyasu, the rest still on their holidays. They're going to be coming back in August. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch up with you guys on the next one.